Hey everybody! So I'm back after a long break. YouTube demonetizing my channel sort of made me not motivated to make videos, but anyway, I'm back and today's video is slightly different than my previous videos. Normally on this channel I talk a lot about blind life and issues related to blind people, but today I'm going to be talking about something that I feel is really important to mention now, and that is the issue of multi-level marketing or MLM companies. Now, if you don't know what I mean when I say multi-level marketing or MLM, it's basically a company in which the majority of your profits are made by not by selling products, but by recruiting other people to sell products who then recruit other people. And usually the products themselves are of average to poor quality and cost much more than an equivalent product that you could buy from an actual retail store. And these products are not usually sold at stores at all, but rather you have to buy them through consultants or representatives or presenters or whatever it is the term that that particular company uses. So oftentimes these companies are called pyramid schemes because of the way they're shaped. You're meant to recruit more and more people so that the money goes up the pyramid. And these kinds of businesses in the States are illegal. It's illegal to just have a business where there's money and no product. So a lot of these companies just have a product, like I said, that is of usually average or poor quality, and they sell that forward, and thus they kind of skirt the rules regarding businesses in that way. Pyramid schemes and multi-level marketing companies at their very core are unsustainable because statistically they like to say that okay, all you have to do is recruit 5 people who recruit 5 people and so on. The 5 people is the magic number these companies like to use, but mathematically speaking, recruiting 5 people who recruit 5 people can only go on for 13 cycles of people, because at the 14th cycle you would eclipse the amount of people that are alive on planet Earth, and that's assuming that every person alive, including babies and vegetables and elderly people with dementia, is also selling this product. So it's a crazy way to do business, and it really takes advantage of people who aren't so good at math and who are desperate. And that's the point of my video. Someone on Reddit a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, I have no sense of time, had posted a thread asking why multi-level marketing companies, why their existence and the way they treat their victims, if you will, who are usually women, why that's not a feminist issue, and why that's not an issue that feminists are talking about. And that was the inspiration of this video, because it got me to thinking that it should be a feminist issue. Now, I want to be very clear in saying that men absolutely get caught up in this stuff. I remember being single when I lived in the States and meeting guys and having a lot of bad experiences with guys who told me they were entrepreneurs or that they owned their own business, only to find out that they sold Amway. And Amway is one of the largest multi-level marketing companies in the United States. They sell nutritional stuff and soap, and I don't actually even know all of the things they sell. All I know is that it costs too much money, and that if you want a bottle of water from Amway, it's like $13 a pack, whereas you can get a regular pack of Poland Spring or anything else for like, I don't know, $3 a pack. So it's insane. So yes, men absolutely get caught up in multi-level marketing schemes, but the reason I believe it's a feminist issue is because of the multi-level marketing companies I've seen impact the people in my life, and also from what I've seen online. The biggest multi-level marketing companies I see right now, and that I've seen since I graduated high school, are Unique, which is a makeup multi-level marketing company, Lularoe, which makes clothing mostly for women. They do have some men's clothing, but mostly for women. It Works, which of course it has both male and female representatives. It's a supplement company. They largely sell supplements with bad science. And there's a couple of other random ones like Sensi and the essential oils companies, which also take advantage of women. But the reason I believe this is a feminist issue is because a lot of these companies in their own marketing material use tactics that are quite similar to abusive people, abusive boyfriends, or abusive family members, and also cults, which is not something I really want to touch. But, It Works is a really good example of this, because a lot of their material and a lot of the stuff that I see posted on Facebook by people who I personally know who sell It Works, and people who have sold It Works but have gotten out of it, or screenshots I've seen, it plays up on people's insecurities, usually women's insecurities, and not just women, but postpartum women or pregnant women who are worried about how their bodies are going to look after childbirth, or worried about how their bodies do look now that they've had a baby. So It Works primarily sells wraps and detox cleansy thingies. Now, this is also a problem because there's no such thing as detoxing. When you talk about detoxing in a medical sense, you are literally talking about removing actual poison that is actually killing someone from their bodies. We're not talking about toxins that don't exist. We're talking about actual toxins that would be poisoning someone who is actually poisoned and who is in a life or death state. So the idea of a cleanse, basically, if your liver works, congratulations, you're detoxing all the time. Quite often, a lot of these detox cleanse supplements are just laxatives and caffeine, which, if anyone out there has had an eating disorder, you are probably well aware. With laxative abuse, it's very common among people who were at one point having some kind of eating disorder. It's scary because it's not a happy thing, and but that's largely what those products do. So they tell women who are insecure about how they look after the child has been born that, oh, yeah, you do look bad. You don't have that glow. Your body isn't what it should be. You're not beach body ready. You don't have a beach body. You don't have a summer body. You don't have a bikini body. You don't have an insert random adjective here body. So you need our cleanses. You need our wraps. You need our ketone coffee. And the coffee thing is really hilarious to me. They sell this coffee that claims to fight fat because it has ketones in it, and that's not how ketosis works at all. Ketosis is the whole basis of a keto diet is that you have taught your body how to get its energy from fat instead of carbohydrates. So you cannot just eat ketones and have that happen. It has to be a process. There is no magic diet or magic cleanse that's going to make you feel better. If you feel bad, you should see a doctor. And I know how hard that can be because I have felt bad since I was like 17 and I still don't know what's wrong with me, but I can tell you that a magical wrap or some magical pills that detox me are not going to work. But anyway, you have a liver, so you're detoxing. But the problem with this is that a lot of women, like I said, they're insecure, they're unhappy, and a lot of time the education that they have, if they get caught up in these kinds of things, is not so great. So it's hard to talk them out of it once they've bought the hype because they need money for whatever reason. Oftentimes the women who get caught up in these kinds of companies are quite poor. They're stay-at-home moms. The husband might have a job in the military or some kind of blue-collar work that pays enough, but of course they could have more money. And they see the propaganda. The propaganda these companies puts out is crazy. Be your own boss. Be a boss, babe. You are in charge. You run your own business. And you don't run your own business. I work for a small business. When you work for a small business or run a small business, you get to decide where your products are made, who you buy your products from, what goes into your products, the kinds of people who sell them. You get to decide the price of the product. You get to decide every aspect of the product and what you sell or what you don't sell. But when you are selling for these companies, you don't get to decide that. But still, these women, #bossbabe, #girlboss. I mean, and that alone, those hashtags alone, I mean, what's the difference between a girl boss and a boss? Isn't a boss regardless of whether they're a boy or a girl or a man or a woman? And the term girl boss is so patronizing. Are you 12? No, you're a grown-ass woman selling vitamins. But Unique, the other company I mentioned in the beginning, is also really guilty of this, because their whole thing is that they claim that they are meant to empower women who have been victims of sexual assault. I can't think of anything more disgusting than taking a victim of sexual assault and saying, hey, this makeup will make you feel less violated. How disgusting of a person do you have to be to wake up in the morning and say, yeah, I'm proud of that? It's awful. It's absolutely awful. And they're another example of a company who makes a very poor quality product for the price point. They have stuff that costs 30, 40, 50 bucks. You can get a real makeup brand for that. You can go into Sephora and buy almost anything in the store for the amount that you are going to spend on Unique makeup. And what you buy from Sephora at least have some oversight. And the difference between someone who's trying to sell you Unique and someone at Sephora trying to sell you stuff is that Sephora lady gets to keep her job and get paid and pay her bills regardless of whether or not she sells you that Urban Decay eyeliner. But the Unique rep needs to sell you that eyeliner and also needs to try to get you to join her team so she can get $5, so she can go to Starbucks and then post a selfie on Instagram thanking Unique that they gave her $5 to buy a latte. Lularoe is another example of a company that has the boss babe thing going. I actually started following the CEO of Lularoe on Instagram just so I could see the insanity. Now, Lularoe sells leggings and also dresses and things of that nature. Full disclosure, I haven't actually tried any Lularoe clothing because they don't sell it in Finland, and I refuse to pay $60 for a dress if it's not a brand I trust. And from what I've seen from other YouTubers, from blogs, from lots of ordinary people, both people who've sold Lularoe in the past, or people who've just bought it and bought a lot of it, it's fairly bad quality. The cuts are bad, but the poor women they have selling these things. Did you know, to sell Lularoe, the minimum investment into that company is $5,000. You have to pay $5,000 to work for them because you have to buy inventory, and you don't get to decide what you get. You get a certain amount of the style of clothing, so you get X amount of leggings, X amount of this kind of dress, X amount of this kind of shirt, but you have no say in the print and you have no say in the size. So they might send you an entire crate of extra small stuff that you can't get rid of. And speaking of the sizes of Lularoe, the sizing is so inconsistent that in some brands you might be an extra small, or some cuts you might be an extra small, but in some you might be an extra large. But yeah, so these companies also lay down the mom guilt really hard. They make you feel really bad, or they try to make you feel really bad, saying, don't you want to work from home? Don't you want to spend more time with your kids? Don't you want to have freedom to be with your children instead of sending them off to daycare? And it's true. American moms on average do send their kids back to daycare too soon. But you're not going to make any money with these things. They try to tell you you're going to make money, but how exactly are you going to make back $5,000 by selling a couple of leggings? The math doesn't favor you. And this is the one thing that I see quite often from people who sell this stuff, especially Unique. And it works, actually. You have to spend so much investing in inventory. And a lot of times people brag, okay, I made $400 in sales, I made $400 in sales. But they don't tell you how much of that $400 in sales they actually get to keep. Quite often, if you go to an accountant with your tax records from working for a multi-level marketing company, it's going to show that your profits were actually in the negative because of all the money you spent getting your inventory, traveling, all the time you spent, just resources in general. you have to look at the math, and that's where they take advantage of people. Because oftentimes, these women who are from poorer areas with poorer education and with lots of vulnerability going on, whether it's because they're a new parent, newly divorced, newly separated, whatever, don't know better. And that to me is just evil. As I said before, of course men get caught up in this stuff too. Of course men get caught up in Herbalife and Amway and things like that. But the predatory nature toward women, especially women of low income, is awful. It's absolutely awful, and it boggles my mind that we don't learn about this in school. Because it seems like common sense. It seems like common sense that, no, why should I have to pay $5,000 or even $200 just to start working, quote unquote, for someone? Which, by the way, are you working for them or are you a business owner? Which one is it? That it wouldn't make you any money, but somehow people still fall for it, and I just think it's awful. One of the smartest people in our class, on paper, ended up being a Unique rep for a long time and tried to sell me makeup for a long time. Mind you, I hadn't spoken to her in years, and she wasn't particularly nice to me in high school, but suddenly she thinks I'm like so pretty and wants to sell me foundation that makes her face look cracked. Yeah, I'm gonna sign right up for that one. There's no easy way to get rich. There's no easy way to lose weight either. Both of those things take a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. But the reason I haven't quit my 9-to-5 job to start selling eyeliner is because at my 9-to-5 job, my money and my salary is guaranteed. My vacation is guaranteed. My sick benefits are guaranteed. My maternity leave is guaranteed. I will still get paid if I get sick. I can go on vacation for 4 weeks a year and not have to sell stuff. These companies try to tell women that you can work from anywhere, you can work from home. Yeah, try working from home with a toddler, first of all. Second of all, I don't want to work from everywhere. I don't want to work 24/7. I like the fact that unless I do overtime when I leave my job at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, I don't have to think about my job until the next day. I can leave it all at that office and then just be free to do what I want. And if I work from home, for some project or something, if I work remotely, I can just turn off my computer, walk away, and be done working. I don't have to constantly be begging my friends to buy stuff, because that's really what these companies are having people do. They're having them beg their friends and their family to buy things they don't need. And my mom was always the one who, if someone tried to sell her Avon or something, she was very supportive. My mom would always buy the cheapest thing in the catalog just to say she bought something and because she wanted to be nice. But 9 out of 10 times, both me and my mother didn't actually want the things we were buying. We just didn't want to make you feel bad for buying them. And that's why your friends and your family, if you're watching this and you sell stuff through a multi-level marketing company, that's why they're buying it too. They don't actually want it. They just want you to feel good. And when their product runs out, they're probably not going to buy it again. They're going to go back to the drugstore and get cheaper e.l.f. or NYX mascara that works better. Or in the case of vitamins, they're just going to go get some Rite Aid or Walgreens brand vitamins if they need them. I'm not even going to touch essential oils in this video because I'm afraid of the people who sell essential oils because they're so insane. But essential oils not only preys on vulnerable women, it preys on people who just don't know science. And it's scary. The amount of times I've read about cats and dogs who've died because someone who sells essential oils has told them that it's safe to give that to your cat or it's safe to give it to your dog. I can't even talk about it. I get so emotional. I get so frustrated just thinking about the recklessness involved. I wish the government would step in. I'm not one of those people who usually says the government should do something, but really for this thing, the government should really do something. Because people are losing a lot of money. People are losing their friends, their family. They're getting into massive amounts of debt, thousands of dollars into debt that they'll never be able to pay off, all because people mislead them. And it's true the government cannot protect every stupid person from themselves. But a lot of the times, it's not about being stupid, and it's just about being vulnerable. People make mistakes, but the people who capitalize on people's mistakes shouldn't be allowed to do that. It shouldn't be so that one person gets into one of these companies, realizes they're in over their head, and then immediately tries to recruit everyone around them to try and make back their initial investment by subsequently making forcing that person to make the same mistake. It's not cool, and it's not okay. And it says a lot, I think, about American and also British society, because I know that these MLMs are now quite big in the UK as well. It says a lot about society that women are so desperate for money that these companies can take advantage of that. They're so frustrated with how they look or how they feel or their financial position that this route of begging the people around them, guilting the people around them into buying stuff or joining their team, that this is the only way they see out of that cycle of poverty. That's not cool. I'm sorry if I offended anybody with this video. I'm sorry if any of my normal subscribers are like, WTF, what are you talking about? If you are currently in one of these companies and thinking about writing me a very angry company about how it's not a pyramid, it's a funnel, a reverse funnel, or how I'm fat, or how I'm ugly, or how I'm jealous, or whatever, you're right, I'm fat, I'm ugly, and I'm very jealous, but please Google everything I just said, and don't take too much offense, because I don't think you're stupid, I just think you made a mistake, and I think you should get out of that mistake, and I think that the people around you who love you and who care about you and who want to see you happy are going to help you get out of that mistake and help you move on if you're willing to do it. There's lots of really good resources online about how to leave multi-level marketing companies. There's also a lot of really good resources online about how to talk to someone who has been sort of brainwashed to join one of these companies. I can link one of the videos in the description. The man in the video, I forget his name, very much likens it to talking to someone who's joined a cult. Because oftentimes that's what these things are. They have literally brainwashed people or played enough on their insecurities to make them feel like this is their only way. So when we talk about someone who's joined an MLM, we should actually think about the bigger picture of what made them think that this was the right decision. The bottom line is, love the people in your life and try to help the people in your life. And don't try to sell me unique ever again, Jessica. Thank you.